So good afternoon. So I thought I'd cover an aircraft I've yet to cover by video, and that's the wonderful Corsair. And I brought out two different brands today. So the first one here is an XO Altair one, and that's the famed Ace Ira Ketford, also covered by Corgi, and that's a really early F4U 1A Corsair. And then I've got two of the Corgis out, so an early-ish one, or a different style one, which is this Corsair Mark II of the Royal Navy in 1944 from HMS Formidable. And the last sort of, or latest mark you could possibly get, which was the F4U 7 Corsair of the French Navy in the Suez campaign. So just want to go over each one and talk a little bit about them. The first aircraft is this XO Altair F4U 1A Corsair, and this one's of the legendary Ace Ira Ketford, so it's White 29 or VF17, the famed Jolly Rogers there, as you can see the skull and crossbones. So this one isn't quite up to the quality of Corgi. If you look at the stand, how it's standing, it sits a little bit lower. A lot of that's down to this undercarriage, which isn't great. So Corgi have like a two-piece fit, which sort of slots in quite robustly. But this one's very pingy, like most Altair XO aircraft. Lots of pingy bits, so if you thought Dragon Wings were bad for pingy bits, well, XO can be just as bad, but it's a decent rendition. Corgi do a version of this as well. But yeah, you know, it's actually quite crisp. It's quite a nice looking aircraft, and will sit quite proudly on the Corsair and Navy shelf. The second aircraft is this Corsair Mark II, which is JT590, and it's from 1842 Squadron Royal Navy, or the Fleet Air Arm, and was based on HMS Formidable in August 1944. So this one's a little bit different, because if you look at the wings, they're like a clipped version. So if you compare that, to that, the more rounded one. And the problem this poses is, I believe Corgi had to adapt the mould in order to make this, and I don't know whether they can actually go back to the older style wing feature of the sort of US Corsairs. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's the case. That's why I've not seen any Corsairs for a number of years. I believe I've got all the Corsairs in the collection now. No, tell a lie, sorry, I haven't got the one with the carrier base, and I believe it might be a USS Essex. Well, I'm not too sure, sorry, but it's the one with the yellow sort of towel and wingtips. That's the only one that's still outstanding, but it was quite a rare one to find. It might even be a US only collection. But this is lovely. This is really, really nice. Colour scheme's gorgeous. That sort of Fleet Air Arm green and grey. You can do with I wouldn't mind a martlet in that sort of scheme or colour. You know, I know obviously the Hellcat's been released by Oxford, which is in a very, very similar sort of colour scheme. And you know, I'd also love to see a Firefly to go on the Fleet Air Arm list as well. But yeah, really, really nice aircraft. If I can show you underneath, so I can talk about this undercarriage. See, there's sort of like the inner sort of wheel door is one piece, and then the wheel fits into the wheel door. It just gives you a much more solid sort of base to sort of stand the aircraft. He says as it probably collapses. No, it doesn't. But yeah, that's the Fleet Air Arm Corsair. The final aircraft is this lovely French Suez Crisis F4U 7 Corsair, representing an aircraft from the Suez campaign in 1956. So you might remember RAF aircraft like the Vampire Venom, and Canberra had this sort of colour scheme. The Seahawk as well, I think, had them stripes put on during the crisis between Israel and Egypt. I'm not a Corsair aficionado, but I'm pretty certain, although it's got the four-bladed prop, it's wrong in some respects. I have to refer to my good friend Lance over in the States, who's an absolute aficionado of the Corsair. He'll be able to tell me where it's wrong, but I can remember having a conversation when I bought this and chatting to him at Duxford, and he was saying, oh yeah, it's a lovely aircraft, but I think it's wrong in some shape or form. So anybody who knows why it's wrong, please put on the comment section. But yeah, it's a really nice looking aircraft. Sits a little bit higher, I think. Maybe it's just my stance a bit. It just seems to sit a little bit higher, but it's a bigger, bulkier and heavier aircraft. We'd love to see a later Mark Corsair in the one that's you know, sort of all black, sort of Korean fighter scheme, like the one based in Germany with Meyer Motors. which is a really, really lovely aircraft. Not been seen at Duxford for a few years though now, but fantastic spectacle when it does come over. So there we go, a little bit of a brief sort of overlay of the Corsair. I haven't yet got a Dragon Wings one. I'm desperate to get the one with the folding wings in 172. The Dragon Wings, like a lot of their aircraft, are renowned for the Corsair and being one of the better Corsairs you can get. Oxford do also a wheels up version. I've got a Fleet Air Arm version of that somewhere in the collection as well. Atlas also do a version of this. Of course, Hobbymaster do a quite nice version in 148 as well, which is worth looking at. And I'm pretty certain they do one very similar to the Royal Naval, or to Fleet Air Arm Corsair, I should say. Right, that's it from me. Just thought I'd do a very quick video this week. As always, thanks for all the love on Instagram and the Facebook pages, and I'll speak to you soon.